What's going on, DEADSIDE family? Welcome back to another video. For those of us that have been playing DEADSIDE since the early access release back in April of 2020, we have all asked ourselves, at what point would scopes be added to the game? Well, we won't have to ask that question again because the DEADSIDE developers officially announced that scopes are coming at the end of June 2020. In this video, we will talk about the good and the bad that scopes might bring to the game, as well as what else might come in the biggest content update that DEADSIDE has received yet. All of this coming right up. Alright, so like I said earlier, there is a massive update planned for the end of June 2020. The developers have already made public that this update should include several new weapons for us to use, as well as the new scopes that we have all been waiting for. Very soon, you won't have to use the iron sights on your rifle to be able to pull off a long distance shot. Of course, some players are upset that scopes are being added to the game, and the reason that they're upset is because the map size is currently not as big as we want it to be. And this is raising the concern that there will be players camping the majority of the time. There is also an issue that an entire squad could gridlock an entire portion of the map only because they have scopes. So, with that being said, there are definitely negative things that will come along with the scopes, but I believe that the negative will be outweighed by the positives. With that being said, DEADSIDE is advertised as being a hardcore PvP and PvE first-person shooter, so it would only make sense that players are forced to slow down and play the game tactically to be able to cross an open field. This wouldn't just include open areas, this will also punish players that are inside buildings and are exposed to a hillside. With all of that in mind, that pretty much wraps up my first positive point when it comes to scopes. Players are going to be forced to strategize when it comes to different gunfights and maneuvering throughout the map. This should keep the game as realistic as possible and not have it feel as if you're playing another Call of Duty game. Scopes will also diversify the way that players complete missions, and depending on the crate's location, it could pose a new challenge on how players are going to collect their loot once the mission is over. With all of that being said, we are all fans of adrenaline, and the more adrenaline and fear that you have, the better experience you're going to have when you're playing these kinds of games. Another game that dominates this concept is of course going to be Escape from Tarkov, which if you've played it in the past, you know just how cautious you start to play when you know you can lose everything that you have. Alright, so to keep this video as short as possible, that is all I'm going to say about scopes. Along with their scope announcement, the DEADSIDE developers started off by saying that they continue to unveil the content that will be included in the June update. So, with that in mind, it leads me to speculate that they're not just going to release a scope and a few weapons. I believe they're going to give us more content that we've been asking for. This content could include the helicopter crash sites as well as the cargo drops that the game desperately needs. Please keep in mind that this is just a speculation that I have, but it could happen considering the fact that DEADSIDE is losing a lot of players by the day, and they're losing them because players are running out of things to do. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this video. I am very excited to see what happens when scopes are finally added and what else is actually going to come with this update. If you guys like this video, please make sure to smack that thumbs up button so that we can reach other players like you in the community. Also, consider subscribing as I do track the full development for DEADSIDE and I also stream the game. Alright guys, I appreciate you watching and I'll see you on the next video.